February. I'm talking with Bitcoin. We saw this, what I'm calling the Wave 5 peak around here at 61,766. That was actually back in March, in fact. So we've had 11 months now, in fact slightly more than 11 months, of a corrective A, B, and a possible C down to here. And we have this A equals C line where the length of this one equals the length of this one. So there's a fair case that we have seen an important low and that we're now going up. The wave pattern supports that to an extent. So we've got a possible 1, ABC 2, fairly impulsive looking 1 of 2, ABC 3 at this point in time. The problem is that this could of course just be a corrective A, B, C. And this could be an impulsive, looks quite an impulsive move. So if this low doesn't hold around 39,514, then we may want to retest the lows down here, perhaps around 36,000. The other point is that although gold and silver have now reacted to the problems in Ukraine, crypto hasn't done so. And I mean, okay, gold and silver are traditional places for safe havens, as it were. The crypto is less so, obviously much more erratic, much more volatile. So that's not necessarily negative, but it's certainly not a positive at this point. So we need to see some more positive action here, really, to give some confirmation that this is a low of some importance. I mean, right now we're seeing just a really feeble bounce. It doesn't look very encouraging at all, actually, in the sense that we've had to blip up, and it's just then gone sideways and blipping down again. So yeah, I can't say I'm too encouraged by that pattern at this point. We certainly need a bit more than that, but certainly the wave pattern does support a decent rally now to new highs, but we have yet to see much confirmation of that. When I say the wave pattern down to this point here, but the action since then is just basically going sideways and not giving any confirmation at all. So it's a bit of pot luck, really. If you think this is a good important low, you've got quite a close stop. But it may be a fairly vulnerable point. Let's go on to Ethereum. Same pattern basically. I'm calling that wave 3 peak, around 4,300. A, B, C. Now a possible rally coming in, which could be important, but has yet to really set the world alight. But at least it's got a stronger rally. We've got, fairly decent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, although a bit messy. 2 wave, pretty impulsive 3. Then we've got the A, so that should be down here now. It fits out quite well. It's the 1 and the 4 don't quite overlap. It's pretty close actually, but they don't do so. So the case is that this is going to go well. The point is this a key low, and are we going up from here? I'm sure that do not disturb signs come on for. Again, if we look at the action since the low here, around 2750, we just got a 1, 2, 3, I and ABC, and again we're retesting again. So we just haven't got any confirmation that at this point in time that this is actually of any importance. So this low may again be pretty vulnerable. I'd rather see something more definite, really, before getting too carried away. Again, I think the Ukraine situation could benefit cryptos, but the fact it hasn't done so far is a bit of a negative time being. Let's get on to gold. It looks better because it has ended this big triangular move here, wave E of the triangle. We discussed that before. It's now broken up above the upper trend line, which has been resistant for quite some time. We've got a pretty clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern developing. That may not be over yet. So we have got a clear breakout. Good move yesterday on the Ukraine situation. We may be due a wave 2 correction. This could be a wave 1, wave 2. I think the news may affect that to some extent. It could be that this is actually the third of a third coming in. The count should perhaps be 1, 2, 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and 3 of 3 coming in. But that would be a very, very bullish count in the short term. Will probably either be confirmed or negated next week, possibly quite early next week. Well, the chart pattern on silver is less positive. We've got clearly impulsive 5 wave form here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I count that as a key low, with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off that low. We're now in brief new highs, but it's fallen back a little bit. so we're not getting the same positives we are for gold. I would think silver will also rally, but it's not looking quite as good as gold is right now. I mean, I'm fully, as I've been saying for a while, I'm fully invested in gold, silver, mainly through gold, silver mines in my SIP and other funds, as it were. I'm not thinking of adding here, but I mean, I think it's good to have some investment money in these markets. I mean, timing it is. I mean, it may be a good time to get in. I think gold is looking pretty good at the moment, and as I've been saying for a while, the equities do look a little bit unsettled, to say the least. Let's look at those in a minute. Let me just move on to Ftse. Looking at Ftse, we had a low here, which I'm calling quite an important low, with a wave 1, a 5-part 1, very complex, irregular ABC2, and now another 5 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A bit flawed as the wave 4 overlaps to wave 1, that's not supposed to happen. So that is a question mark. The other point is that at the moment, I'll go back to a shorter term chart, at the moment this is clearly an ABC, suggesting this is a corrective move coming in. Now, the counter just outlined is correct, this is either part or all of wave 3, then a correction either as a wave 4 or as a wave 2 of 3 is what you'd expect. So ABC, and B, this could be a C wave, and A would equal C around 7,440 or thereabouts. But that could be a good buying opportunity on Ftse. We'll obviously be monitoring that going forwards. And the other equities don't look quite so good, but there is some glimmers of hope on Ftse itself. Right, well, the DAX was looking quite positive with a possible 1, 2, 3. That's now been totally blown away by this collapse. Well, quite rapid decline. We've got 5 waves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it could be we're actually seeing a complete ABC with a 5-wave C wave. So this can hold, that might be a positive. But if it doesn't hold, it breaks. Then I just suggest that this level 2 would break at 14,837. So I think the direction here could be, the trend could have reversed. We could be going down at this point. And the key level, I'll say, was this low here, 14839. Right, the Dow's been a downtrend since early January with a big ABC here for an A wave, now a B wave, and now this is now accelerating to the downside a bit. There was a 5-wave pattern here, but that clearly has become irrelevant given the fact that we've obviously gone lower. I would have thought this will take out the low here at 33160, and if it was a big ABC, then I'll just do that calculation. Excuse me a second. So this would be the same length as A, then the target around 32,000 is indicated. However, C waves can become quite dramatically larger than that, given the right circumstances. This may be one of those circumstances. I mean, if China does join in and attacks Taiwan, and Russia does go ahead with this attack on Ukraine, which seems highly likely, then we might be living in a fairly different world quite soon. And that could easily drive prices to those sort of levels. I would have thought maybe below that. Right, the S&P, very similar pattern. Peak at the beginning of the year, sharp fall, B waved, which just kissed the 61.8% level. Now another sell-off, which could target around 4,000 or below 4,000, where C equals A, and possibly below that if this becomes a bigger move. Finally, have a look at the Nasdaq. Somewhere on the Nasdaq, big A wave here, about minus 3,000 points odd. 50% retracement, pretty much exactly. Now a possible 1, 2, this could be a 1, 2 with a third wave gearing up perhaps to break below that level there. Again, this is support for time being, 13728 around there is support. So that can hold, we could see something different, but this is clearly an ABC, so it doesn't really encourage a bounce back at this point. And I would suspect we're going to break through these levels very possibly next week. That's all today. Financial Neutral back to report on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.